Alright, what's up YouTube? We're back with the AGS returns. Now, I obviously sent them 13 cards. Money I've accumulated back from selling these junk cards. Like junk cards, PSA cards, all this like random rubbish, right, that we've got. And we decided to grade more, right? There was 2 crack slabs that we cracked from CGC on this submission. You will see them in this video. There's the tickets, there's 1 ticket. Right, and then here's the other ticket. Here's the other ticket, right? So you'll see them on this video. Now, there's a variation of cards here, and I would say that some of these are very difficult to get as a 10, right? Now, this submission took 10 days to come back, right? So we have 10 days. So let's say, for example, you want to grade 100 cards, let's say, for example, and you want to start an eBay shop, let's just say, for example, right? You need your cards coming back fast because you don't want your cards coming back waiting 6 months. If you're waiting 6 months for PSA, that takes too long, right? We all agree that 6 months is too long. Everyone only grades with other grading companies because it takes so long to grade your cards, and no one's got the time to wait 6 months. Like that's like 1% of your lifetime, right? So how many submissions can you actually do? So we'll go ahead by like, I should really create some kind of like sleeve or whatever to do this, but basically we're going to show you these cards, right? So this, and we're going to, James is going to laugh on the comments because, on one of the cards I forgot to check the centering on the back. Do it every time. Do it every time. So this sometimes ADD brain, yeah, like just 1 minute I'm looking at something and the next minute I'm off to something else, yeah? Right, ADD brain, yeah? So, this one was kind of off center, right? Now, this Raichu is such a pain, bro. It's so difficult, right? So, the Mikita, I got the Mikita, which was a 10, right? And trying to get this as a 10, oh, mate, it's difficult, right? So, this one got a 9, right? So it honestly is really difficult to get these cards. Like, these came out in 2017. They're not printed very well. The AGS population on this is there's 4 9s, there's 1 9.5, and there's 0 10s that exist. So this is actually like so this has, so I'm going to show you the grades on this, or the scans, so people can see why. So this seems to be the problem on this card. So the edge. So we've got edge issue on the top. I'm not good at checking edges. And then the bottom edge. So we've got the bottom edge. And then there's something to do with this. So it's very hard to see for me on this card. Like, looking at this. Alright, I've got to get used to moving this. Right, so this is the 2017 Sun and Moon card. So apparently we've got... Sometimes it's kind of hard to look through these plastic cases. But you're finding out why your cards are 9, right? So, if you've never used... Alright, let me get this out of here, right? Because these sleeves are kind of like... Right, so, for example, if you scan this QR code, this will show you the reason why the card got the grade. So, it will pull up the stats, right? So, this is why it's good. So, there seems to be... Anyway, where's that? Right, so there, right? So there's some surface issue, right, between there and then on this down side here, which, yeah, it's not too bad, to be fair. These are old cards, so like they're not printed like the new stuff. So, we got a 9, right? We'll probably end up selling this on the internet. Somebody said that before, oh, that'll probably take 6 months to sell. Well, okay, if it takes 6 months to sell, right, bearing in mind I was sat on CGC cards for how many years, like 5 years, and they never moved. So it's like, eventually the card will appreciate the slab if the slab never goes up in price. But a 10 doesn't exist of this. So let's say, how many more cards, if you graded this, how many 10s will actually appear? Yeah? So a 10 is not easy obtainable if there's not one that exists already. Right? So out of 4 cards, or 5 cards graded, there's not a single 10. So, you know, okay, we're going into the next one, right? So this one's a gold label. This one is a 2016 JoeG card from 20th anniversary. This was pristine, yeah, in my opinion, when I looked at this. And we got the 10, Gem Mint 10, bang, bang, bang. Yeah, we got the Gem Mint 10. This is a sick card. I'm going to put this on eBay for, you know, quite a bit of price. I don't know if there's anybody that... Yeah, I bought this. I graded this one to sell it. Yeah, I graded it to sell it. Is that bad? No. I've had it for a long time. The AGS population is 1. Now, let me show you something of this. So this was 1 card, 1 point off getting a legendary rank. Now, we are obviously searching for legendary ranks, yeah? This is what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to get a prestigious card, like a pristine. And if I get a prestigious card, then I ain't going to sell it, right? So this is a sick one, yeah? JoeG 10. Right, so I ended up buying this off eBay. This is not a part of the submission, but I'm going to include it in the video. So this is a CGC Pristine Kamehameha, right? So we are going to crack this, and we are going to send this to AGS on the next batch, right? So when I send my 2 PSA cards that were cracked, I'm going to crack this. I'm going to see if this gets a legendary. So technically, this should upgrade to a legendary 10. And because the blue label is not made anymore, I would think that, you know, let's update it and let's get a better, like, let's get a nice sparkly one of these on it. Let's get one of these on it, right? Let's get a shiny label on it. Yeah, boy. So I'm going to crack this. Yo, people are going to go, yo, this guy's a nutter. Of course we're nuts. Right, but anyway, we're going to see if it's the true grade, because the reason why is we're doing this. So I ended up buying this off of eBay for like £7. It got a 9. It's one of them cards again. It's a full hollow, right? It's, you know, they get scratched. They have print lines. It's one of these full hollow cards, right? So this one ended up getting a 9. So 9 Bulbasaur, right? So let's say, for example, is there any 10s currently of this card that exist? Right, so there's not many people obviously grading a lot of these, I don't think so, but there's 40 10s that exist, 14 10s, 14 9.5s, and a 9, there's 7. And there's 17 legendaries. Wow. So this is, mine has 2 print lines on this one. This is why this one got a 9, right? I must have not seen them. So there's the print lines on the card. So I must have not seen it, or, you know, looking at it, I thought, you know, let's just send it off. I probably need to look at some of these cards better, but at least just seeing why the card got the grade it did. My camera always likes to troll looking through these plastic sleeves. It's like, yeah, alright, there's 2 print lines. Boom, boom. Well, we got a 9. I'm going to sit on this card. I don't care about trying to sell this one. I'm just going to sit on it, because I think, you know, this one's going to be one of them cards that goes up. During the, you know, I reckon this is going to be like just to buy and hold it and just sit on it. It's just like whatever in it. And then the 9 that we might not sell or whatever. Then we got another card, which, what is this one? A Magneton. So I had a chance to try and get an Evolutions 10. Now, with Evolutions at PSA, I've always got a 9. Every card I've always slabbed with Evolutions, I've always got a 9. I think I only have 1 10 Evolutions card after grading so many. So, you know, we ended up getting a 9 on this one, right? So, what was wrong with this one? So, this has got a print line in the hollow, and the centering on the front is off, right? So, basically, here's the issues with this card, right? So, we're gonna bump this across, right? So, here's the thing, problems with the hollow, right? There's problems with the hollow, and we click off this and go to the back. Here's your back issues. So you got a back issue, whatever this is. So we've got something in that top right corner. Right, so it's probably like little indents or little indentations within the card or whatever. So, you know, I did think this one was pretty clean. You know, could we get a 10 on Evolutions card? Evolutions is not like very printed very good, so, you know, we can't argue that the fact that this is a 9, right? We know why this is a 9, right? So I had some guy who I know, he basically said that, you know, if you cracked an AGS 9, would you get a PSA 10? And I'm like, well, that kind of defeats the object, right? Because it's like, you know why the card got a 9, you've got the data to see it's a 9. So if you sent it PSA and they just gave it a 9 anyway, you're kind of like, well, we knew it was a 9 to begin with. So it's kind of like, is it something to test? You know, if anyone wants to test that, you can go ahead and test it, but they might be harsher on that card or whatever. You just don't know, right? So then here's another card that's, you know, pretty clean looking on the back. We got this one like white dot here. So this one ended up getting the 7. So this one was the CGC blue sticker, right? So this one was got an 8, right? Now I'm going to show you something because they cleaned this card, and even though this card went down a grade, right? So this is the thing with CGC, yeah. You know, are they grading the card correctly? This is the thing. This is the thing that we're all trying to answer this question, right? Are they grading these cards correctly? We don't know, right? We don't know. But there was a scuff here on the card, right? And the card cleaning service that we used, because I enabled card cleaning on these cards, right? That basically, when this camera focuses, if you go back to the old video, there was a big scuff here, right? Like some big grime or dirt or whatever it was. So they ended up cleaning it off, right? Ended up cleaning the card, and the card looks better, personally, now than what it did when it was in that CGC case, right? Card looks well nice, clean, yeah? It's nice and clean, right? So, it's a very nice, clean card. Looks a lot better, right? So, look, we've got, nice seeing the holo pop in, like, yeah, boy, we got a 7. Right, now, I'll show you the scans to this card. So this was an 8. Someone will go, oh my god, bro, you should have kept it. Someone will say, oh, you shouldn't have kept it as an 8. Do you know what I mean? Alright, yeah, we keep it as an 8. Okay, so let me show you this. So, there's no cards. Let me go back to this, because it's a bit, like, annoying to do. So, there's 0 10s of this that exist. So, you got 1 9 5, 2 9s, 2 7 5s, 2 3 7s. So, mine's this. No, mine's a 7, yeah. And then we've got 6.5. Now, this wasn't a card that was created, you know. So here's all the issues with the card. Obviously the holo is very scratched, right? It looks like we've got 2 edge issues as well, but they cleaned the card, and the thing is, with cleaning the card, right, and that top right corner, all right, yeah, there's a bit of a mark there, to be fair, and then the centering is a 10, I think the centering was a 10, and then the surface is back. We know this is a shitty card, right? So here's all the scores. Here's all the scores for the card. The surface is the worst part of the card. You know, the centering is really good. Yeah, that's what I looked at this. I was like, yo, the centering's banging, so the centering will probably bring the grade up a little bit. Right, and this one got a 7. So it's like, okay, doesn't really matter that this card got a 7. Alright, we're moving it on the wrong screen. This is kind of sometimes confusing to do this. Like, yeah, well, let's move that. So it looks better, right? We got a better looking card. It's gone down a grade, but it is what it is. I couldn't sell it as a PSA 8 anyway. So this one's sitting back in my collection, because this is what, you know, we basically, you know. So we'll stick this on here. This is my like personal card. I do have another Gengar, I do have another one of these, which I'll end up probably grading. So there's the 8, right? Goes down to a 7. So it was incorrectly graded, right? It is what it is, right? So I had this card on eBay for £2. I had 5 watches. So someone decided to watch this card, and I was like, why am I getting so many watches on this? And it was like up for £2. So I was like, right, this is the way that the card is supposed to be, because it's the way you play the game, and then you flip it over when you evolute it, or, you know, you boost it, and then it goes to this way. But the dragon, I mean, this would look better the opposite way around in my opinion, but, you know, that's not the correct way the card's supposed to be, and this one got a 10. So imagine I had this on eBay for £2, and I had 5 watches, and no one would buy it, because, you know, I got this from a box, and I decided to I was deciding to sell it for like £2, and I'm like, no, mate, this is my personal, this is another personal card we're keeping this. Super Saiyan Goku. I'm actually buying a lot of Dragon Ball cards right now, and I've bought more Dragon Ball cards this week than I have Pokemon, and I just think that these are not printed drastically. The demand of Dragon Ball is not printed as massively as Pokemon is, and I think the rarity of the Goku cards or the Gem Mint 10s or whatever, you know, they're going to be something that later on. Goku was a 6 show, right? So this one, what was this one? So this one Right, McDonald's cards. McDonald's cards we know are very, very difficult to get the Gem Mint 10s on, right? I pulled another one. I have another one, right? Which we pulled. I've put it on my shelf. And I'm like, this one could be a 9, 5, 10. But we've got to grade it to C, right? This is, all this what we're doing right now is we're getting the cards back 10 days. It's like, we're getting data. We're seeing what's wrong with the cards. We know what to look out for next time. You know, to then make a pristine submission. So like a 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. You know, the first submission I got was like 10, 9, 5, 10, 9, 5, 10, 9, 5, 10, 10, 9, 5, 10, 5. Do you get what I mean? That submission was banging, right? So this one, right, this one I think has surface issues. So it's McDonald's cards. They're printed a pan, they're cheap. You know, Pokemon, they're printed for McDonald's. No one really, like, are these going to be worth anything? I would say the grade 10. If I was going to get a grade 10 anyway, I'd sit on it. I wouldn't sell it anyway. So here we go. So there's one legend that exists to this, 7. So let's just look at the scans. Right, so here we go. So we've got scans. We're going to show you this. Is this easier to do? So here's the issues with the card. It's probably some like top wear or around here. Yeah, this is the pink. This is the pink what's showing, right? And then let's cross off that. And then here's the total. So there's 20 total graded. Whoever's got that legendary is going to be sitting on that. I would not sell that. Then you got 7 10s, 5 9 5s, 5 9s. You got 1 7, 1 6. It was graded as 6, bro. That was a mess up, right? Centering's off on the front. Surface is a 10 on the front. Corners are a front, you know. Centering on the back's off. Surface on the back's off. Corners on the back are not very good. Edges on the back are not very good, right? So this is the overall score of the card, right? You know, we got the 9, right? So is what it is. Is what it is, right? So, you know, am I even like showing you this? Is this even like showing up on cam? Oh, right, yeah, it is there on the screen, right? So we'll minimize. Let me do this real quick. So let me just put it over here again. And then we'll go back to this page. So when we need to show things. So this is the 9, right? So I'm going to sell the 9 on eBay. I don't know if we'll get a lot for it. Probably get, even if we get 20 quid back and I get my grading fee back. You know, this is a pound card for McDonald's, right? I really kind of don't care. Okay, so AGS sent me this card for free. And they included it in my, you know, returns. I reached out on their Instagram because I seen it. I seen this card on eBay and I was like, yo, how do you get that? Like, how do you get this? Yeah, and they sent it. So it's like robo grading with the Charizard, and it says scan your opponent's active Pokemon's weakness. This Pokemon attacks will be always super effective. So Pokemon's obviously allowed them to do this, right? And it says here this is not an official Pokemon product. Like, no, it's not an official product, but Pokemon's obviously allowed them to do this. So this is kind of like, this is sick, yeah? In my eyes, this is sick, bro. You know, you can pick these up. I did see an image of them in an event today, and you can buy these for like £10, and it's like, yeah, why not buy them at 10 quid? Why not buy some? They're sick, right? They're cool cards. So we'll move these off to the edge. Then we graded this one. This one is the Battle Academy Charizard. So as you know, this one was a CGC 9, right? So after my recracking of the other slabs, I had 3 9s go from a 9 to a 10. This one has a dint. Now I must have missed it, you know, with my eyes, like, right? Humans miss things, right? Machines don't. So this one went to a 9. So this card stayed the same, right? But anyone who goes, oh my god, Brad, why would you regrade it to know it's not a 10? Well, this is the whole idea, right? We don't know if it is a 10, right? We don't know if it is a 10. Is it a real 9? We don't know. So this is why the surface on the back, there seems to be some kind of dint. And we're going to try and find it, because obviously I must have missed it looking at this card. So here is the dints. This is where this Charizard has dints. Right, so let's try and find these dints, right? Because I must have missed them not looking at it. I must have just like cracked the case, like, oh right, let's crack this, see what happens. It must be like, when I look at cards, I usually flick them in a certain way, which we might. So where's that on the Pokeball? So wait a minute. There's a dint off to the right. which is like around here. So let's see if we can find these. Camera don't want to focus, right? So yeah, where are these? Maybe it's this way. Alright, yeah. Right, I've seen that one. So there's the one there. There's the one there, look. Right. Where's this fucker? Come on. Focus, camera, please. Focus. Please focus, mate. I hate this camera sometimes, bro. It's so trolled. Where is it? I just had it. Yes, I didn't hear, bro. Where is it? It's there. Yeah, it's there. It's there. Right, wait. There it is. You see it? You see that pendant? There's a pendant there, right? That's where the pendant is on that Pokeball, right? That's very, like, difficult to see. You know, my camera's being a knob. So anyway, let me try and, like, go into the properties of this, and, you know, because we're doing through the PC, right? So let's try and lock this focus. Take this focus off auto because it's trolling, right? Can't really see the screen, man. Let me bring that back up, and then I'm gonna focus on this card. Right, here we go. So you'll be able to see this dint. This one's pretty hard. This one's pretty difficult to see, man. I must have, like, obviously that's why we missed it, innit? It's there. That's where the dent is. There's a dent in the card, and then where was the other one? The other one's on the Pokeball, right? So they said the other one is on the Pokeball on that spot there. Right, so if I'm looking at the card upside down, it's right, it's on that bit. Right, yeah. So there must be a dent here. There you go. There you go, look. Look at that. Right, so that's obviously what we missed. I didn't see that originally when breaking this case. So yeah, you can tell there's a dent there. And the thing is with these dents is you've got to move the card. Like, if you look at the card like this, you might, like, miss it, you know, because if you're looking up down, you see, like, up down, you don't really see it. I mean, if you're holding the card straight and you're looking up down, no, you don't see it. It's more like you've got to look at an angle to see this one. Ah, look at that. That's where it is, bro. Sorry for taking so long to try to focus the camera, but this one's got an indentation there. That's where it picked up on the first, and then the indentation's there on the card. Right, so, you know, we know why this card got a 9. So we'll do a short on this one. And we'll post this one up on Reels, and we'll say, yo, this one was regraded. We regraded this card. So this one, you know, we don't know, right? So this one's a 9. So the Mr. Stones project that I sent in, which is a grade 9 by CGC, we'll see if that one upgrades to a 10. I thought that was, like, a beautiful looking card. If that one upgrades to a 10, it's like, yeah, man, like, I'll be happy if that one upgrades. That was a really nice card. So this one got a 9, right? This is a true 9. We know we know this one is a true 9. There's evidence that this one's a 9. This one's got 2 dints on it. So there we go. So anyone who's going, oh my god, bro, you regraded that card, like, yeah, of course, like, why not? Right, so we graded one of these. These ones, these cards are very hard to see the back, right? I don't know if, you know, PSA has trouble with these or whatever. Let me exit this. Let me go back to this because I have it minimized. I have to keep, like, minimizing it and then moving it across. It's, like, kind of annoying. I just don't want all the grades to flash up on the screen, because then basically you will see what's it called? You will see basically, you know, all the grades on the submission, and it kind of defeats the point of the video. So this one has an issue on the top of the Pokeball here. So there must be, like, just one small, like, I don't know, scuff or scratch or something. So this one was a Marshadow. Marshadow is seeing alt rares right now, and I've got a load of these that I was trying to sell raw. People don't want them, so I graded this one and got a 9.5. So we'll show you what's wrong. There's like a surface scratch, probably 2 minuscule scratches on the back. Other than this card, everything else is perfect. So this was basically, you know, this one's not a dint, right? Like a dint gets marked down a lot, right? So this one's a 9.5. So a 9.5 on the Marsh Shadow. You know, here's a, this is a, what's this one? All right, yeah, this is a Pristina. Right, this one's nice. So this is an Abra, right, from 151. Do you know what's funny about this? I'll tell you about these cards. So this one's got a swirl on it. Right, this one's got a swirl. So let me see. Can we bring this up? Let me see if this one flickers. Right. Right, this one's got a swirl. Yeah, you can see it. It's a G swirl. Right, yeah, look at that. It's a G swirl. Yeah, boy. So I'm going to tell you, I bought a lot of these off Chaos Cards for like 50 pence. Like, I bought a lot of these for 50 pence. I bought these for 50p, bro! 50p! Yeah, yo, 50p! I bought them for 50p, yeah? And this one got a 10. Like, bro, this is a gem. Bro, this is... I'm telling you now, this is a beautiful condition, Abra. It's an amazing condition. Like, sometimes I kind of like... don't like the sleeves over the cards. Yeah, let me put my slab guard on this. I've been making slab guards on the 3D printer. You know, slab guards. Is this one a bit like... is this one kind of tough to get on? This one is clear plastic. You know, yeah, they go on, but they are good. Like, don't get me wrong, they do go on. Right, you just have to push them down a little bit. There we go. Right. So anyway, here's a legendary 10. Right, boom with a green. Look at that, clear green. That looks sick, right? You can get these off. I am currently the cheapest seller on eBay. You can pop them off, so you're not damaging your slab. So you know, I'm the cheapest seller on eBay. I haven't listed all these yet, but you know, we're gonna start making these, and we're gonna make the TPU ones as well, right? Like, so there we go. Boom. Yeah, jobs are good. I've got some slab guards, bro. Slab guards. Look at that. Yeah, sick, bro. Hey, what you telling me? That's a sick slab. Let me move my Charizard coin out of the way. I cracked a premium collection box, and you know, what's that? Right, so we don't need to show you that one. That one's pristine 10. We don't need to show you why it's not a legendary. Right, we've got this one. So this one is a Japanese Arcanine, and this one got the 10. Yeah, Japanese card, right? 2016 anniversary. Bam. Sick card, right? So off this submission, there's not many that I'm gonna... there's a few I'm gonna keep. Only like 3 or 4. So this is a Radiant Charizard, right? I thought this would have got a 10. I was like, well, maybe this one will get a 10. This one ended up getting a 9, right? This is like one of them cards. It's a flashy hollow. It can get scratched. You know, it's the same kind of problem as the Bulbasaur from Mega Brave. You know, so they're debatable. Condition we got on this one. The centering on the front, the centering on the back is off on this one. So if the centering one off on the back, we probably would have got a 9.5. So here, so let me show you these. There's a lot of people grading this card, to be fair. This has actually got a lot of copies. So it's 105 10s, right? There's 272 9s, right? So the gem rate, 9.5, and then there's 107 9s. So this is actually not a bad card. It has a lot of graded copies, you know. So the reason why this one, so there's an edge, the bottom edge. I don't really know how to check edges personally. You know, I've said this. This is something I miss. We've probably got like a little corner pin, maybe a little indentation or wherever that is, or maybe there's a little flick on the corner. I don't really know, because it's very hard to see with inside these cards. Because they're textured, right? They're textured cards, so like the machine obviously learns of what is an error and what isn't, and then there seems to be some kind of like scratch, or maybe something on that Pokeball again we've missed. So let me move this down. Right, so something on the Pokeball on the black bit. Alright, so this the reason why we're grading such a variation of cards, this, you know, gets me to see, like, to look at the cards better. Like, we get to look at the cards better, take more care what we're looking at to try and get the 10s. This is going to be one of them cards again where you've got to look at it in a certain direction to catch it, I guess, with your eyes. Right, so you know, could it be missed? Ah, yeah, bro. There it is. There's a dint. Imagine that. Again. Again, I keep getting stung by them, don't I? Look, there's a little one there, look. That's mad, bro. Another one. Yeah, you see it there. You can see it. You can see it. There it is. There it is on camera. Boom, 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 boom. My nails, bro. Right? It's obviously a dint within the Pokeball. A little impression. Look at that. That's hard to see, innit? It's hard to see. Like, yeah, it is there. Yeah, you can see it there, look. But, you know, if you're looking at a card for 20 seconds while grading it, would this one... You see? James, S2K, you're going to laugh. James on the channel, bro. Off center on the back. Yeah. Bro, you forgot to check the centering on the back. Yeah, I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. We got a 9. I do have like 3 or 4 more copies of Radiant Charizard. I just used to buy these when they were cheap, like 8 quid, tenner. Less than £8, £10. Used to just grab one a week or whatever. So grab one every other week. So, you know, we've got a few more copies we can try and slab. We can try and get a 10. Have, you know, a pristine, and that'd be amazing, right? So we've got a Dragon Ball card. I bought this used, right? I bought this used. This is my first low Dragon Ball card, right? There's a scuff on this card. This one is a championship, miraculous formation. You know, the gold on these cards looks really nice with the gold label at the top, but the blue label on the top of this Goku card is kind of like, it's kind of sick, you know, even though it is, you know, it is what it is, isn't it, right? This one has got a scuff on it. I didn't think this one would get a 10 when sending this one in, because I did see some kind of mark on the card, right, at the bottom. Was at the bottom somewhere. Maybe it came off with the cleaner. Or maybe it came off. Maybe it came off because I'm not seeing it now. Yeah, I don't see it. I actually don't see it now. Oh, but there's a dint. Yeah, there's a little impression there, look. Ah, right. So, listen. There's a dint there, right? Just below the... Right. So that's where the issue is, right? So let's see. Let me pull these scans up real quick. Let me do this real quick. I need to double move this on my screen. Yeah. I need to move this on my screen. Wait. And then... Wait. Let's go back to that. And then we need to go back to this app. And then we need to move this here real quick. Alright, this is like the last card on the submission anyway, isn't it? So, it don't really matter. Scroll down. Where is this one? Don't want all of that stuff showing. So, here's the card. AGS population 1. And then the back. So, this is a sick card nevertheless. Back. Here it is. This one's got a few issues on the back. Right, let's try and find these. The one on the Pokeball, the one behind the, you know, the Dragon Ball, we just got that one, right? So that was the one we've seen. So this one, I don't know if you can see my mouse on the video. But so basically, there's another one. There's another indentation. All right, there's another indentation. Right, you see, I'm telling you now, this is like, so there's one there, and then there's one there, there's one there, right? So there's two indents, right? We found that one. Then there's another one. So this is where the scuff was on the card. You get what I mean? So yeah, there's the other one, look. There's the other one. So there's a dint, and another dint. Right, so you got 1, 2, 3 dints, and we just found them. And then there's something on the bottom right. Where's that? So the card's this way. So this bottom edge. Oh yeah, that's where that is. Look, there we go. Mark there. So it's like a a little bit. And then we've got a top line on the ball on the top. Right, yo, which side's that? So this way, and then it should be here. Ah, look, we've got a scratch in the card here. Look, do 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 no 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 no. I bought this used, guys. This was a guy off who played Dragon Ball Z Championship, and we've got some kind of impression here. So yeah, we found. Was that like a little dent there? I'm sure that was like a little dent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There, look, boom, 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 boom. So there's that on the card, right? So that's kind of like. Yeah, it's kind of that way it's marked it in pink. Yeah, that's correct. Right, so there's your issues on why that card got the 9. But it looks good nevertheless. It's a grade 9. You know, we can always get another miraculous transformation card and try and get a 10. Right? You know, but then again, do you got the 10 or do you want the 9? You could sell the 10, right? And keep the 9, get money for the 10, keep the 9, use money to regrade more. Yeah? So guys, this is the end of my video. It's a long video. It's 36 minutes in. I don't even think people will watch 5 minutes of this. If you get to the end of the video, big props. Thanks for watching my return vid. And we'll see you in the next video. Right, so this is AGS returns. I ended up sending them another 15 slabs, 15 cards. If anyone turns around and says with negative comments, oh my god bro, you might not sell none of them or whatever, I don't care. Right, I really don't care at this point. Right. We can sell a PSA slab if we really need to, just to get more money to grade more. So it's like, I'll grade with these, and if I ever want to use another company for statistics, data, you know, do we ever break one of these and send it to someone else and see what it gets, see if they're dumb enough and then miss it or whatever, you know, but then that's not a true grade, right? If they miss it and give it an opinion based, like you could look at this card and say, yeah, this card's a 10. Well, it could be like, oh, yo, JoeG forgot to check the centering on the back, and he gave it a 10, and the centering's off. And yeah, I mean, you get questioned, right? So, you know, human fatigue, people that have, like, been awake all night. Imagine me turning up when I do all-nighters and stuff and be like, yo, bro, I'm turning in, and I'm like, looking at it, and I'm like, 10. Yo, thanks for watching my video, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.